What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Single Guy FAQ. I am Lloyd, your single guy. The question is, how do I end a short-term relationship without hurting her? So let's say you've been seeing a girl for 2 to 3 weeks or something. I mean, maybe you've been seeing her 2 to 3 times a week, and you've been hooking up, you've been fucking. How do you end things without hurting her? Okay, so the first question you have to answer is, has it been enough time? If it's been 2 to 3 weeks and you've been seeing each other about twice a week, every week, I'd say you probably should say something. If you don't say anything, you're being a dick, and if you ghost people like that, that's when people start getting crazy. That's when you start getting your shit broke, and that's when people start, you get the guys that are always like, I can't believe, I don't know what it is, every girl that I hook up with is crazy. Okay, if you're that guy, look at the common denominator. Okay, the problem is you. You're making these girls crazy by cutting them off, ghosting them, doing whatever it is that you were doing. Maybe you showed a lot of affection and then you just completely cut it off. If you set expectations correctly at the beginning, and so they know what this is and they know where they're heading into, even if they get a little sad or they get, they want things to go farther or whatever it is, they're never going to get mad at you. They're never going to take it out on you. Or I shouldn't say never, but it will almost never happen. Okay, obviously there's super crazy bitches out there that I can't that I can't speak for. But what you want to do is you want to make it very apparent that you're just out there trying to have fun and that you're not really trying to be tied down by anything. Okay, if you're taking her out to nice dinners, if you're spending a lot of money on her, if you're showing an extra amount of affection, you're heading into territory where you having a conversation where you don't want to see her again because you've been hooking up for 2 to 3 weeks and you don't think she's hot enough, or you found another girl that you want to spend more time with. This is territory where things can get a little hairy, and if you want to end something there, be prepared for the consequences if you just suddenly drop off or act completely different than you've been acting. This is the type of stuff that makes people crazy. So what I would do is, if you are seeing them, if you're being that fun, outgoing guy, be that fun, outgoing guy, and don't, like I said, don't spend a lot of money on those dinners or whatever it is. If you're spending a lot of one-on-one time, as opposed to like maybe you go out with friends or something like that, and then you hang out there, this kind of stuff is a little bit better, and it's more for people that are just kind of out there hooking up and having a good time, as opposed to people in a relationship. Okay? And if you are with a person that you've been, let's say you're friends with benefits or you're hooking up or whatever it is, maybe you see them like once every other week or once a week for like 2 months, 2-3 months or something like that, and it's apparent that she kind of wants something more. Even if she doesn't, you should probably have a talk. If it's been 2 to 3 months and you've been doing this, you should probably have some sort of talk so it doesn't get out of control, because there's a very real possibility that it could. All right, and basically what you want to do in this scenario is you want to sit them down and just say, hey, listen, or, sit them down, just, you can maybe make it casual, say, hey, listen, I think everything's going really well with you, I like you a lot, but I don't think I'm ready to take things further right now. Right now I'm at a point in my life where I just kind of want to have fun and meet new people, and it's not the best thing for me to be tied down with someone right now. Okay? And she'll either do one of two things. If you've done a bad job setting expectations, she's going to be like, well, so you just want to hook up with other girls then? And if if you've been setting the expectation that you've only been seeing her, and you maybe not outright lied to her, but you've been implying that you're only seeing her and you haven't been hooking up with other chicks, this could come up, and you better have an answer for it. And then at this point, I don't know what I would say. I have gotten in trouble for this, and I think at that point I basically said no, I'm not just trying to hook up with other girls, but I don't want someone around me at all points in time. Like, what if I just wanted to go up and travel? What if I just wanted to do this, and we're in a committed thing? There's no way that it would be a lot more painful for me to do that, and I'm at a point in my life where I can't have limitations like that. Or say some variation of that. You kind of want to make it vague. You don't want to come out and say, yeah, I want to fuck other girls, because then she just won't see you again. Yeah, and if you're trying to end things with a girl that you've been seeing, And sometimes if it's getting too serious, like you see the feelings coming and maybe you made some mistakes with expectations. Look, we've all been there. There are a couple ways out, and some people might not like what I have to say about this, but I think it's important because we all like to think that we can be truthful and outright honest with everybody, but we can't. Like with the example that I just gave, you can't come out right and say, hey, I just want to fuck other girls. That's rude. It makes the other person feel like a piece of shit. So if you don't want to make the other person feel like a piece of shit, because hopefully you do care for them in some way, shape, or form, if it's getting pretty serious and you've been seeing them for a couple months or whatever it is, and you want to let them go, or you just don't want to have any sort of drama because you can tell that her feelings are definitely higher than yours, and it's definitely going to cause a scene if you just ghost her or whatever you do, is I would actually lie. And what you want to do is if you aren't around this person a lot, if you live in the same city and you wouldn't see each other you wouldn't run into each other on the street or whatever, or there's a low probability of that, I would just say that, hey, listen, one thing my friend uses is he says, hey, my ex just came back in town and we've have a long history together, and I don't know where things are between us right now, and it's just not fair for me to string you along while this is all going on. What that does is it basically she doesn't know your ex, she doesn't need to know your ex, and it's none of her business, quite frankly. So basically it takes all of the fault is lifted off of her. So she doesn't feel like she did something wrong. She's not going to sit there wondering. The situation is pretty clear, and she doesn't have to worry about it, and you can go your separate ways. That's a pretty good one. And, like I said, the most important thing here is setting expectations. If you're running into this problem continuously, the problem is probably with you. And you have to figure out what you're doing to make these girls think that they should be in some long-term relationship with you when that's clearly not what you want. All right, well, that's all I got. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought. If you have any other questions, be happy to answer them. And good luck out there, you guys.